Hey friends, welcome in. Welcome to your reading. Today's reading is all about the topic, you are not meant to play small, your most profitable purpose. So I'm curious, have any of you out there been feeling like the life that you've built no longer fits who you're becoming? Maybe you're craving freedom or purpose or visibility, but you're not sure where to begin. This is your sign that it's time to change everything. Today's reading will help you discover what type of purpose that you're meant to express and to create the life that feels like home to you. Now, if you are new to Pick a Card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do here is you are going to pick the pile or the crystal that you feel the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here with the Sunstone crystal. We have pile 2 here with Bloodstone. We have pile 3 with Trollite. And then we have pile 4 with Sodalite. Now, you can choose one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you. But when you're ready, go to the description of this video, find the timestamp that is linked to your pile, and then you can skip ahead to your reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I will see you on the other side. Hey pile 1, hey friends, welcome to your reading. Let's talk about your current energy, let's talk about your inner truth, what is shifting, and why now? What are you outgrowing here? So we have the Page of Teacups here. This is the Page of Cups. So with this card here, pile 1, this represents intuition, creative nudges, inner child messages, new emotional beginnings. So I feel like you're outgrowing self-doubt, maybe even like you're strengthening your emotional maturity in how you view your creativity or your dreams. So I feel like you're awakening to some sort of long suppressed or undervalued creative or spiritual calling here. Right? Because the page is very tender, but they're ready, right? So you are being nudged towards something either unconventional or imaginative that maybe once felt too out there or unrealistic to pursue, right? So maybe you've always wanted to write poetry or music, but you thought it wasn't professional. And so now you're drafting your first collection or recording songs in your home studio. Maybe some of you here feel pulled to create content around spirituality, but you have that hidden side of you, right? And now you're posting your first TikTok on intuitive guidance. Maybe some of you here have felt, too sensitive to handle leadership, but now you're learning that your emotional intelligence is your superpower, right? That is your strength. We also have the initiation. This one says rite of passage, crossing the threshold. So this represents your soul evolution, right? Transformation, a spiritual breakthrough. Pile 1, you are outgrowing the whole playing it safe, right? You're outgrowing this fear of visibility and you're staying on the threshold of your own power. I feel like you're in this moment of irreversible change. So what used to work, right, like people pleasing or staying small or waiting for permission is completely collapsing right now. You're no longer meant to just dabble in your calling, pile 1. You're actually being initiated into it. And I feel like you've already been feeling this deep down inside. So maybe some of you here want to leave behind your 9-to-5 job to fully commit to your intuitive healing, right? Or your creative business. Maybe some of you here realize that you can't be half in anymore with your content creation, right? So you batch and you post weekly or daily, whatever it is, regardless of perfection. Maybe some of you here stop hiding your true spiritual or artistic identity from your family and you start introducing yourself as a creative entrepreneur. So let's talk about your creative calling. Let's talk about the niche or the message, maybe the vibe or the platform or the energy that you're meant to lead with. We have Quicksilver Moon. This one says changes. So this is fast-paced transformation. This is intuition. This is where kind of like the intuition and the intellect meet. It can also talk about adaptability. So you are outgrowing rigidity, right? Being on a linear path is something that you're leaving behind. I think that you're also leaving behind like a control over everything mentality. So I feel like you are meant to lead with adaptability, with insight, with transformation. And I really feel like your work is going to evolve constantly, right? So go ahead and embrace your multi-passionate nature, pile 1. Your platform or your voice is definitely is definitely a shapeshifter. So I think that you're poetic. I think you're deep. I think that you know how to create change and you're really reflective of emotional intelligence. So this is extremely powerful. Maybe some of you here want to start a podcast that blends astrology and money talk and intuitive wisdom. And then your episodes will shift with the seasons or the moons. Or maybe some of you here design a spiritual brand that evolves with you, right? Maybe you offer tarot today, but shadow work or somatic tools next month. I feel like your business thrives, not despite your changes, but because of them, right? And clients trust your evolution as well. We also have the King of Hedgehogs here. This is the King of Pentacles. So this represents wealth. It represents mastery, right? Legacy, this slow and steady empire building. With this, I feel like you are outgrowing scarcity mindset. You're outgrowing hustle culture. You're outgrowing undercharging, right? You're outgrowing this imposter syndrome around just being a creative. I feel like your creative or spiritual work can be lucrative, Pile 1. You are here to build something tangible, long-lasting, and stabilizing. You are absolutely meant to be a pillar in your niche, right? It's not just a fleeting trend with you. So maybe some of you here turn your spiritual gifts into a coaching container that brings in consistent monthly income. Maybe some of you here launch a content subscription or a membership for your audience, grounded in recurring value. Maybe some of you here write a book or a course that becomes a cornerstone of your legacy, right? Earning long after it's launched. So next, I want to talk about what will bring you success and stability. This is where strategy meets soul. Let's talk about your way of doing business or showing up that aligns with who you are now. So we have allow, accepting all parts of you. So this is wholeness. This is radical self-acceptance, and this is integration. So Pile 1, you are outgrowing fragmentation, right? You're outgrowing compartmentalizing your identity, or maybe only showing the professional version of yourself. I think that the more you are, the more magnetic and profitable you become. So this is your sign to not hide your emotional, intuitive, almost like witchy, poetic, humorous, weird, or deeply feminine sides. Your whole self is the brand, the business, and the magic here, Pile 1. So I feel like a lot of you here are going to stop toning down your spirituality in business spaces. You're going to lead your branding with maybe like cosmic language or lunar cycles, for example. Maybe some of you here want to combine motherhood with intuitive gifts and leadership in your messaging instead of separating them. Maybe some of you here are going to allow yourself to speak boldly and emotionally in your marketing without filtering for corporate palatability, right? We also have temptation here. This is the devil in the tarot. And this is like nothing to fret over, nothing to fear. I actually like kind of demystifying this card because it talks about shadow work. It talks about being released from fear, right? This liberation, this reclaiming of desires. It can also talk about like confronting patterns. So I feel like you are releasing fear-based control with this, right? We're releasing this addiction to approval or undercharging or sacrificing yourself for success. Future you has faced and really has dismantled the internal prisons of like fear of judgment or scarcity addiction. Your future self has chosen authentic freedom, and I feel like you've reclaimed your body and your voice and your power to create. So you're no longer owned by outside validation here, Pile 1. I feel like many of you here are going to be breaking the cycle of offering free readings or low ticket services, and you're going to finally own your high ticket value. Some of you here may be on the verge of quitting a toxic job that kept you comfortable but creatively dead inside. I feel like some of you here are also going to see that your fear of failing online, right? Like for example, on YouTube, maybe this is rooted in childhood criticism and now you show up with unfiltered passion. So let's get a message from future you. What is waiting on the other side of this leap? We have the Two of Teacups. This is the Two of Cups. This talks about soul-aligned partnerships. It can talk about collaboration, balance, divine mirroring. So I think that you are outgrowing isolation or like this lone wolf syndrome. I think that you're also like outgrowing relationships that drain your power. So on the other side of this leap that you're about to take is genuine connection, right? Clients who light you up, collaborators who match your frequency, maybe even a business partner or a soulmate who gets the real you. And I feel like you're going to thrive through deep reciprocity here. So maybe some of you here co-create a course or an offering with another spiritual entrepreneur who has gifts that complement yours. Maybe some of you here attract clients who say, oh my gosh, like I've been waiting for you, or I just found your channel, or I just found your services. Like I can't believe I didn't see this before. You're amazing, right? And they pay in full. Or maybe some of you here meet a soulmate who loves your creative work and wants to help you scale it. We also have Earth, Snake. So this is grounded evolution, right? This is embodied wisdom, rebirth through shedding, and really getting this wealth through connection to the body and earth. So I feel like with this, you are outgrowing being up in the clouds, right? Avoiding structure, being like disconnected from the body and the material world. I think that the success that you're stepping into is slow, it's sensual, it's sustainable. I feel like you're meant to be abundant, deeply resourced, and really physically supported here. So your growth happens when you root, not rush. So I feel like maybe some of you here are going to be prioritizing your nervous system, right? Like doing some nervous system regulation or body-based rituals while building your business so that there's no more burnout. Or maybe some of you here anchor your brand in earth energy, right? Herbal wisdom, sensuality, things like sacred rest. And I feel like you stop trying to ascend and you start living richly, right? Luxury for you becomes nature and depth and this soul-aligned wealth. So this is fabulous. So why now, right? I feel like pile 1, you are not meant to play small because the world is hungry for things like authenticity, right? Depth, things like creativity that's rooted in truth. I feel like your initiation is calling here. Your purpose isn't just profitable, but it's transformational. This is a green light to fully step into your zone of genius, not in spite of your softness or weirdness, but because of it. So thank you so much, friends. If this reading resonated, take it as a confirmation that you are being called into your passionate era, not the hustly burnout kind, but the one that feels like truth, beauty, and a full body yes. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so we can keep manifesting together every week here at Tidal Tarot. And if you feel like going deeper, check out my other pick a card readings on dream careers, money breakthroughs, and your next level self. They are all on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. You can also listen to my podcast that's linked below, the That's Deep podcast, where I share how to co-create your dream life through personal growth and spiritual wisdom. And if you're into crystals or pretty things to support your shift, my online shop is linked below for you as well. Sending you so much love, Tidal fam. I will see you on the next video. Bye. Hey pile 2, hey friends, welcome to your reading. Let's talk about your current energy. Let's talk about your inner truth. What is shifting? Why now? And what are you outgrowing? So we have the Wheel of Fortune here. With this represents fate, timing, a karmic shift, divine orchestration. It could talk about cycles. So I feel like you are outgrowing trying to control the outcome, right? Or thinking that you missed your chance. Or maybe you're outgrowing staying stuck in old timelines. The timing is no longer random for you, pile 2. Life is shifting in your favor. So the delays, the confusion, or any sort of cycles that you've been repeating were not failures, but they were actually alignment and progress. Pile 2, a major change is underway for you, and I feel like your role now is to move with it and not resist it. So maybe for some of you here, after years of inconsistent income, you finally feel like things are clicking, and maybe a dream client reaches out of the blue. Maybe for some of you here, a job loss or ending in your business becomes the catalyst for the spiritual content that you were meant to create, right? Or maybe some of you here are realizing that your biggest block wasn't lack of effort, but it was being on the wrong wheel, right? And so now you jump timelines. We also have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So this is soul activation, DNA upgrades, embodying your truth, right? So you are outgrowing old coping patterns, people pleasing, operating from wounded versions of yourself. I feel like you're not just pivoting here, pile 2, you are upgrading. This is an identity shift at a cellular level. You are shedding what no longer fits you, pile 2, and you're stepping into alignment with your next level self. So I feel like for some of you here, you are going to outgrow the need to prove yourself by over-delivering or undercharging, and you're going to start charging in alignment with your worth. I feel like some of you here are no longer going to be posting content just to get clients. You're going to post because that's you speaking your truth. Or maybe some of you here stop chasing hustle blueprints and you start designing your business around what works for your nervous system and your spiritual energy. Now let's talk about your creative calling. Let's talk about the niche or the message or the vibe or the platform or energy that you're meant to lead with. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse here. So I don't know if any of you here have been feeling emotionally overwhelmed. Maybe you feel like your intuition's been blocked or you're experiencing some sort of creative burnout. So with this, I feel like you are outgrowing self-sacrifice, putting other people's needs first, hiding your emotional depth. Pile 2, you were meant to lead from deep emotional and psychic waters, but not at your own expense. You have these intuitive gifts that are so powerful, and so it's time for you to stop leaking energy. You're here to transmute emotion into healing and beauty, not to absorb everyone else's chaos. So I feel like some of you here are going to be shifting from giving free readings to only taking on aligned clients who respect your energetic boundaries. Maybe you are going to go from codependent content, like, what do people want from me, to more of this like emotionally sovereign messaging, right? So like, here's what I know is needed, that kind of thing. I feel like you're also going to stop hiding your emotional sensitivity and instead center it as your creative or your intuitive superpower. We also have Howl at the Moon, process your feelings. So this represents expression, release, ritual, things like shadow work. So I feel like you are outgrowing this whole like suppressing your emotions to be productive, right? Or pretending to be okay all the time. I feel like your creative calling is rooted in emotional alchemy. You are meant to process publicly, and people are drawn to, you know, like your raw truth, your depth, and really that safety that you provide by simply being honest. So this is your sign to let your art howl. Maybe some of you here create content around emotional healing or grief or motherhood or spiritual burnout, and people feel deeply seen. Maybe some of you here host full moon circles or journaling groups or workshops that help others express what they've been holding in. Maybe some of you here are going to release a blog or a song or a product that was born from a breakdown, and it goes viral because it's real. Next, let's talk about what will bring you success and stability. Let's talk about where strategy meets soul. Let's talk about your way of doing business or showing up that really does align with who you are now. So we have the 9 of Flowers. This is the 9 of Wands. This is resilience, it's perseverance, it's sacred boundaries, right? Having this grit with grace. So you are outgrowing overgiving, burnout, giving up the right before the breakthrough. You are so close, Pile 2, but you need to protect your energy right now. I feel like success is not going to come through pushing harder. It's going to come from guarding your flame. It's going to come from creating boundaries around your time and your space and your creativity and your focus. You are rebuilding your strength here. Maybe some of you here are going to start time blocking your content creation instead of letting it take over your week. Maybe some of you here are going to take a social media detox to recharge and to come back with a clearer version and a stronger voice. Maybe some of you here are going to set a firm limit on how many clients or collaborations you take on per month and only say yes when it's a hell yes, right? We also have self-soothing, creating safety and calm. This is nervous system care. It's emotional regulation. It's inner child healing. So you are outgrowing operating from survival mode, from chasing success from a dysregulated state. Your business needs to be built from a place of inner calm, Pile 2. You are here to lead from embodiment and not just adrenaline. Your success is going to grow as you make safety, not speed, your strategy. So some of you here are going to create a daily grounding ritual before you post or you coach or whatever it is, so that your nervous system feels supported. Some of you here are going to stop saying yes just to keep up the momentum and trust that aligned pauses are part of the flow. Some of you here are going to be developing a very calming brand identity, right? Slow visuals, soothing words, maybe lunar flow here, because you are the medicine, Pile 2. Let's get a message from future you. What's waiting for you on the other side of the leap? We have the Knight of Teacups here in reverse. This is the Knight of Cups in reverse. So this can talk about romantic idealism. It can talk about disillusionment, and it can also talk about emotional discernment in some cases. So you are outgrowing this fantasy-based decision-making here, Pile 2, right? You are letting go of dreaming without grounding or jumping into things before they're emotionally clear. So future you is no longer seduced by the hype or emotion alone. You've learned to move with devotion, not delusion, and you create from truth, not escapism. Pile 2, you're not waiting for the dream client or the collab or the moment to rescue you. You are going to become the muse. So I feel like many of you here are going to stop chasing emotionally charged but misaligned opportunities, right? Like brand deals that aren't ethical or clients who don't pay. Some of you here are no longer going to start new offers from emotional impulse, and now you're going to build from grounded inspiration. I feel like you still love deeply, but you're not going to lose yourself in the process anymore. You're going to lead with things like compassion and clarity. We also have water. This one says octopus. This is emotional intelligence, adaptability, creative fluidity, right? Your sensitivity as your power. So you are outgrowing this fear of being too much or too sensitive or too deep. Future you is fluid, it's masterful, it's magnetic, right? You've embraced your emotional intelligence as your greatest leadership quality. You are creative, you're boundaried, and you're in tune with the undercurrents of your community or your audience here, pile 2. I feel like you don't force waves, you move with them. So maybe some of you here are going to create some sort of intuitive membership or a creative project that flows with with lunar or emotional cycles. I feel like some of you here are going to be using your deep empathy to become a powerful guide, a coach, a writer, a creator, who others trust for inner transformation. I also feel like you're going to thrive in flow-based businesses, right? Not rigid systems, and you're going to help other people to do the same. So why now, right? This is all about emotional sovereignty and intuitive leadership. You are shifting from overgiving and emotional enmeshment into clear, grounded, soul-led embodiment. Your softness is not a weakness, pile 2. It's your edge. You're not here to be the wounded healer anymore. You are here to be this embodied, empowered creator of a life and a business that really reflects your truth. So thank you so much, friends. If this reading resonated, please take it as a confirmation that you are being guided into your passionate era, not this hustly, burnout kind, but the one that does feel like truth and a full-bodied yes and beauty to you. So remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so we can keep manifesting together every week here at Tidal Tarot. If you feel like going deeper, check out my other pick a card readings on dream careers, money breakthroughs, and your next level self. They're all on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. You can also listen to my podcast linked below, the That's Deep podcast, where I share how to co-create your dream life through personal growth and spiritual wisdom. And if you're into crystals or pretty things to support your shift, my online shop is also linked below. I'm sending you so much love. Bye, Tidal fam. I will see you on the next video. Thank you. Bye. Hey, pile 3. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's talk about your current energy. Let's talk about your inner truth. What is shifting? Why now? And what are you outgrowing? We have the One of Spears here in reverse. So this is the Ace of Swords in reverse. So this talks about mental fog, unclear truth, this inner conflict, and like maybe sometimes it can also talk about breakthroughs being delayed. So you are outgrowing second guessing your voice, pile 3. I think that you are outgrowing waiting for perfect clarity before starting, right? This is you letting go of overthinking. So you're learning that clarity doesn't always come before action, right? Sometimes it comes through it. Maybe you've been circling around an idea or waiting for the aha moment, but the deeper truth is actually already within you, pile 2, and maybe some of you here just haven't trusted it yet. Like maybe some of you here have had a business idea for months or years, and you haven't said it out loud or you haven't committed fully, and so this card is reminding you to say it now and then clarify later. Maybe some of you here keep revising your offer or your messaging, trying to make it perfect, but it's time to post or launch or to share it as is. Maybe you stop letting fear of not being qualified enough from keeping you from sharing your insights, and then your voice gets clearer as you use it. We also have Lemuria here, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. So this is visionary leadership. This is spiritual contribution. This is anchoring light. You are outgrowing cynicism here, pile 3. I think that you're letting go of shrinking your dreams to realistic standards, right? Realistic, whatever that means. And I think that you're also letting go of separating your spiritual life from your business. I really don't think that you are here to escape the world. You're meant to reshape it. Your business, your platform, or your career isn't just about money. It's about beauty, healing, and remembering what's sacred. You are a builder of a new paradigm here, pile 3. So maybe you are blending spiritual wisdom with practical guidance, like creating this intuitive budgeting method or ritualized business planning. Maybe some of you here are going to build a brand that centers around beauty or love or nature instead of scarcity and fear, like a holistic lifestyle brand or heart-led coaching or soul-based art. I feel like you're going to finally realize that your presence is your purpose, and the way that you show up every day ripples outward in big ways. Next, let's talk about your creative calling. Let's talk about the niche or the message or the vibe or the platform or energy that you're meant to lead with. We have the Nine of Spears in reverse here. This is the Nine of Swords in reverse. So this can talk about healing inner turmoil or releasing shame or confronting fears, right? This is light after darkness. So with this, you are outgrowing this internalized fear or chronically worrying, right? Self-sabotaging thought loops, or maybe even this silent suffering. I feel like this is a turning point in your mental and emotional healing. Like maybe you're beginning to see through your inner critic, right? And like the lies that it tells you, right? The things that say like you're not ready or you're not enough or that you'll fail if you take the leap. I feel like the thoughts that once paralyzed you are now being brought into the light for healing. You are not meant to stay in this cycle of fear and shame, pile 3. You are meant to move through it and use it as fuel for your message and your art and your soul's work. So I feel like you're learning to separate truth from fear. You're breaking the belief that your anxiety is a prophecy, and you're realizing that your nervous system's old trauma patterns aren't reliable business strategies anymore. So maybe some of you here stop letting the fear of being judged hold you back from sharing your story. You publish the blog post, you record the podcast, maybe you go live, even if your voice shakes. I feel like this is you seeking support, whether it's therapy or coaching or using somatic tools, because you realize that you don't have to carry this alone. You finally understand that healing is a part of your business growth, pile 3. Maybe you launch your offer even though the old story says no one will buy it. And instead of spiraling, you ground yourself and you choose faith over fear. You act in alignment with the truth that you're growing into, not the fears that you're shedding. Right? So you are not your worst thought here, pile 3. You are actually not your darkest night. The fact that you're still here, dreaming of more, means you're ready to reclaim your light. Your purpose isn't found despite your shadows, but through them. We also have Moonlight, Enchanted. So this talks about magic, mystery, softness, feminine energy, intuitive realms. So I feel like you are outgrowing harsh hustle culture, right? Or logic-only leadership, or explaining yourself. Pile 3, you are meant to lead with soft power. Your brand or your platform isn't about convincing, it's about inviting. You hold space for things like mystery and beauty and this emotional resonance. And I feel like people are drawn to your dreamlike quality, not because you shout the loudest, but because your presence is a balm. So maybe some of you here lead a dreamy, poetic Instagram or a YouTube or a TikTok that feels like an escape and a remembrance for your audience. Maybe some of you here create readings or witchy tips or moon rituals or visual storytelling that really does awaken the inner child or the inner priestess in others. So I feel like your niche, it isn't logical, it's felt, and I think that you're going to share what enchants you and your audience is going to feel it in their bones. Next, let's talk about what will bring you success. Let's talk about what will bring you stability, right? This is where strategy meets soul, and we'll talk about your way of doing business or showing up that aligns with who you are now. So we have the sun here. This is about visibility. It's about joy. It's about radiant leadership, truth, things like confidence. So you are outgrowing hiding your light, pile 3. You are outgrowing downplaying your gifts or waiting for permission to shine. Success will come when you stop trying to be neutral or small or mysterious in a way that hides you. Pile 3, you are meant to be seen, celebrated, recognized. And I feel like the more joy or play or honesty that you infuse into your work, the more magnetic and profitable it becomes. Maybe some of you here create video content where your personality shines, right? Laughing, dancing, being candid, and it instantly outperforms your more professional posts. Maybe you stop trying to be the quiet mystic and instead step into vibrant, warm leadership, whether that's on stage or camera or community spaces. I feel like you're going to allow your work to be joyful, not just deep, and clients are going to be drawn to your light as much as your wisdom. We also have moon pebbles, challenging yourself with compassion. This is grounded magic. This is small rituals, maybe consistent devotion, this sacred daily practice. And so I feel like you are outgrowing this all or nothing thinking, right? Or like waiting for big breakthroughs or having this chaotic workflow. You are going to create sustainable success by integrating small sacred actions into your work. So I really feel like you don't need to go viral to succeed. You just need to be able to commit to your magic consistently. So a little enchantment every day is going to build empires over time. So maybe, for example, here, some of you start your workday with a mini altar ritual or a tea ceremony that grounds you in your purpose. Maybe some of you here build a repeating schedule like weekly newsletters or full moon circles or ritual bundles that your audience looks forward to. Maybe some of you here stop reinventing the wheel and instead you refine what you already do beautifully, and your routines become your rhythm. So let's get a message from future you. What is waiting for you on the other side of the leap? We have the 8 of Hedgehogs in reverse here. This is the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. This talks about feeling misaligned in the soul. You can talk about perfectionism, resisting mastery, burnout from like over effort, right? So you are outgrowing doing work that drains you, or trying to prove your worth through effort, or confusing productivity with purpose. Future you has released the need to grind. You don't need to chase success by doing more. I feel like you choose alignment here, and you master your craft by doing what you love and not what the algorithm demands. So you're shifting from proving to refining here, pile 3. Maybe some of you here stop offering every type of service or content and instead focus on your favorite, most fulfilling ones. Or maybe some of you here like quit trying to post daily and instead you build systems or you hire help that let you focus on craft, not chaos. Maybe some of you here realize that your dream job isn't a job. It's really this lifestyle that's aligned with your soul's rhythm. We also have water, frog. So this talks about renewal, things like cleansing, things like emotional healing, and things like letting go. So with this, you're outgrowing clinging to what no longer fits, right? This internal clutter, like we spoke about earlier, this emotional weight. On the other side of your leap, pile 3, is this beautiful reset. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel freer, right? You're going to feel more energized. And you've let go of what was weighing you down, be it a draining niche or a toxic client or old emotional baggage, and created space for this fresh creativity and vitality. I feel like many of you here are going to be detoxing your business, right? Unfollowing comparison triggers, ending outdated offers, cutting cords with misaligned people or projects. I think that you guys are going to be cleansing your energy daily, whether this is through baths or breath work or meditation or whatever other tool you use for cleansing. And then you're going to feel more inspired to create. I also feel like some of you here are going to realize that your next season of growth requires release, not addition. You're going to simplify everything, and then I feel like your income is going to grow from there. So why now, right? I feel like this is your call to trust your enchantment and your clarity, even if they feel contradictory. I feel like you are a soul-led visionary who was brought here to create beauty and build with joy and share your light in this very grounded, magical way. So pile 3, the truth is within you. It's time to trust it. It's time to speak it. It's time to live it. Your purpose is not found through force, but through flow. So thank you so much, friends. If this reading resonated, please take it as confirmation that you're being called into your passionate era, not this hustly burnout kind, but the one that feels like truth imbued and a full-bodied yes to you. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so we can keep manifesting together every week here at Tidal Tarot. If you feel like going deeper, check out my other pick a card readings on dream careers, money breakthroughs, and your next level self. They are all on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. You can also listen to my podcast, the That's Deep podcast, where I share how to co-create your dream life through personal growth and spiritual wisdom. And if you're into crystals or pretty things to support your shift, my online shop is linked below. So much love to you, Tidal Tribe. I will see you on the next video. Bye. Hey, pile 4. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. So let's talk about your current energy and your inner truth. What is shifting? Why now? And what are you outgrowing? So we have the Fool here. And with this represents a fresh start, a soul leap, this intuitive risk-taking, and even this like divine innocence. So you are outgrowing playing it safe, pile 4. You are also letting go of needing a full plan before taking action, or like letting fear of judgment hold you back. So there's something brand new that's trying to emerge for you. And maybe some of you here are feeling both excited and terrified. I feel like you're stepping into a path that you can't fully explain yet, but your soul knows that it's time. And this is not recklessness, it's really this reclamation of your joy, spontaneity, and trust, right? So maybe some of you here quit a job or a niche that no longer lights you up, even if there's no guarantee of what's next. Maybe some of you here launch your first online product or offer before it's perfect and it succeeds because it's infused with the truth. Maybe some of you here finally commit to a dream that's been on your heart forever, like moving or publishing or performing. We also have share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution, and expression. So this talks about visibility, again, self-expression, really overcoming this fear of rejection. So what you're outgrowing here is hiding, shrinking your message, staying quiet to stay safe. Pile 4, you've played small for long enough. The fear of being seen or misunderstood or too much is melting away, right? And you are ready to speak or teach or share or sing or post or present the parts of you that have been in the shadows. You are now safe to fully be expressed. Maybe you start sharing your personal healing journey for the first time online and it deeply resonates with people. Maybe you pivot your brand or your niche to match who you really are now, even if it drastically is different than other people. Maybe you start public speaking or creating videos or launching a podcast, right? Really using your actual voice to share the truth. Let's talk about your creative calling. We'll talk about the niche or the message or the vibe, maybe the platform or the energy that you're meant to lead with. We have the 3 of Flowers in reverse here. So this is the 3 of Wands in reverse. This can talk about delayed momentum, feeling like your foresight is blocked, even like feeling this fear of expansion. So what you're outgrowing here is waiting for external signs of success before committing. Right, and that's funny that we have watch for signs next, but what you're letting go of here is over planning or doubting your ability to sustain long-term vision. So you are meant to lead by trusting the unfolding, not by forcing a mapped out plan. This card reversed often means that you're being too cautious or stuck in what if mode, and your creative calling might involve this non-linear progress. And I still feel like it's going to lead you to big impact. So this is you stopping the endless tweaking of your website or brand colors and just launching the thing. Or maybe you commit to your long-term content platform like YouTube or a blog, even if the growth is slow because you know it's aligned and it's profitable. Maybe some of you here are realizing that the only thing blocking your vision is the belief that it has to look polished or popular right away. We also have Follow the Moon, watch for signs. This can talk about cycles, right? Like the flow of cycles, lunar wisdom, really trusting divine timing. So what you're outgrowing here is hustling through resistance, right? Or ignoring your intuition, especially like those intuitive nudges that you've been feeling. You are meant to lead with this cosmic rhythm and this inner knowing. And so I feel like your business or purpose is going to flow better when it's attuned to emotion or, seasonality or spirit. Because I feel like the signs are already guiding you, right? Like maybe you've been seeing signs or synchronicities, spirit animal totems, repeating numbers, little other signs that are important to you. And so your job here is to listen and to act when it feels right. So maybe for some of you here, you schedule launches or content creation around the lunar cycle. Maybe you plan intention setting with new moons and releases with full moons. I feel like some of you here are going to be working on letting go of this guilt around rest and knowing that it's a part of your process. I think that some of you here are going to begin journaling or pulling cards regularly to check with your creative guidance before you make business decisions. So next, let's talk about what will bring you success and stability. We'll talk about where strategy meets soul here and your way of doing business or showing up that aligns with who you are now. So we have the 7 of Hedgehogs here. This is the 7 of Pentacles. So this is patience. This is steady growth. It can also talk about long-term investment and really being intentional. So what you're outgrowing here is impatience or chasing fast results or jumping ship too early. You are learning that sustainable success takes time, right? Pile 4, you've already planted the seeds and now you must tend to them. This card is all about evaluating what's working and really choosing to invest energy in what actually brings you joy and abundance. So maybe some of you here stay consistent with your YouTube or your newsletter even when views are low because you're nurturing depth and not just numbers. Maybe some of you here are cutting back on offerings or collabs that really drain you and you're focusing on your most nourishing work. I can also see some of you here like tracking income or creative energy or client feedback and really using that data to refine your next moves and not abandon ship. We also have composting, decomposing energetic cords. So this is you letting go of what no longer serves you. This talks about energetic transformation and really reclaiming your power and your vitality. So what you're outgrowing here is energetic baggage, right? Old business models, maybe ties to outdated expectations. What I'm feeling from this is that you don't need to burn it all down, but you do need to compost what's stale or draining or misaligned. And This is energetic recycling, right? You are transmuting like the waste of the past, and nothing is a waste, but like kind of the waste of the past experiences that you've had into like wisdom or clarity or fresh fuel. I really do think that you've let go of guilt around past business mistakes, and you see them as valuable compost for your growth. I feel like this is you lovingly closing a chapter or an offer, like a social media platform or a collab that's really no longer aligned for you. This is also you maybe doing some cord cutting or release rituals to clear emotional baggage, anything that's clogging your creative channel. So let's get a message from future you. What is waiting for you on the other side of this leap? We have suspension in reverse here. So this is the Hanged Man in reverse. So this can talk about a perspective shift. It can talk about resistance to surrendering. And it can also talk about moving after a period of stagnation. So what you're outgrowing is staying stuck in this pause mode. You are outgrowing overthinking the next step or this spiritual procrastination. You've learned all you needed to from the waiting, the upside down view, the surrender, and so now it's time to move. Because future you isn't waiting anymore. They've acted, and the shift that follows is your freedom, right? Is your liberation. So you finally stop journaling about your dream and you do the thing, right? You launch, you pitch, you record, you publish, whatever it is. Maybe some of you here quit trying to figure it all out before moving forward, and you trust your next aligned action and you take it. I feel like many of you here are going to be like, whoa, you're going to get this epiphany, like you realize that staying stuck was this old trauma response and your movement now is your medicine. We also have air, owl. This is wisdom, this is perspective, this is divine messages, clarity from above. So what you're outgrowing here is this like emotional fog, this reactivity, or forgetting your wisdom, pal, because you are stepping into a season of clarity and mastery, and so future you speaks with precision. Future you trusts their voice, and you know how to see the bigger picture. You've become a messenger, a thought leader, a guide, and not because you know it all, but because you know yourself. I can see some of you here teaching or mentoring others from a place of embodied experience, and your voice becomes this lighthouse for others in transition. Maybe you write or speak or share in a way that cuts through the noise, and you're known for clarity. I can see some of you channeling divine or intuitive messages that land with impact. I keep hearing your words will be remembered. So why now? Well, I feel like this is a call to take that leap, right? To speak, to move, to risk visibility, and to let go of what is no longer yours to carry. Pal 4, you're no longer meant to wait for the perfect moment. You are the moment, and I feel like your future self is living proof that taking the leap is going to lead you to things like clarity and freedom and expansion and abundance and authentic success. So thank you so much, friends. If this reading resonated, take it as a confirmation you're being called into your passionate era, not the hustly burnout kind, but the one that feels like truth, beauty, and a full body yes. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so we can keep manifesting together every week here at Tidal Tarot. If you feel like going deeper, check out my other pick a card readings on dream careers, money breakthroughs, and your next level self. They're all on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. You can also listen to my show linked below, the That's Deep podcast, where I share how to co-create your dream life through personal growth tools and spiritual wisdom. And if you're into crystals or pretty things to support your shift, my online shop is also linked below. I'm sending you so much love, Tidal fam, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Love y'all.